Hello everyone, welcome to class, welcome to practice. My name is Rain. I'm here to guide you through practice for today. If this is your first time to do a class with me, welcome to class. Go ahead and find yourselves at the center of your mats. Feel free to use any kind of props for today's practice. Go ahead and find your blocks, one or two. If you don't have that, maybe find thick books or maybe pillows. You can go and grab a heavy yoga straps, or if you don't have that, maybe yoga towels will do, or any string that won't shake your skin. Feel free to grab yoga blankets or yoga posters if you want. We have some posters for that as well. I don't have mine today because it's easy for me to practice without any so far, just for this flow. All right, so just this is the time where you put them on the side so that it's easier for you to grab them later on. So for today's practice, we're gonna find some easy stretching poses for healthy aging. So when we say healthy aging, it's really more of learning how to make sure that your body is still agile or still mobile. We're gonna try to make sure that these poses are the things that you can do at least every day, so that you have a strong spine, strong muscles, and of course your healthy heart and your healthy mind. So again, these are just some of the poses that you can do. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more than the yoga, some exercises as well to complement this. But again, we're just trying to do some. If this is your first time to do a yoga class at all, welcome. We're gonna take this really easy and really nice. So whenever you're ready, let's go and start your practice. I'm gonna go first at the center of the mat, finding ourselves in our meditation pose, your easy sitting pose like this one. So I hope you can hear me good, because it's somehow gloomy here and it's super windy. I think we're gonna have a storm. So let's go find yourselves in our easy sitting pose like this. If you feel like you won't be able to sit like this comfortably on the floor, you can find yourself the yoga block. Find yourself on a seat there so you can find a straight spine. Or you can also do this on a chair. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, find yourself a seat, open the thighs and the glutes out wide if you're here with me on the floor. Take your hands on your knees, or maybe at the center, whichever feels good. Maybe find your Anjali, hands in prayer to the heart, or hands in prayer to the heart and the belly. And then just close your eyes if you feel like it feels safe wherever you're practicing, or just gaze at one point in front of you, or gaze one point down. And then find yourself breathing in and breathing out mindfully, maybe equal amounts of inhales and exhales to begin. So as I usually say, for you to be able to have a strong mind and a strong heart means you need to make sure that you're aware of your very full self, and that is what we want to do in meditation class. Same as in line with healthy aging, for you to be making sure that you're healthy as you age. Being aware of all of yourself is the best way to go, at least beyond the practices of physical and mental health. Making sure that you're aware of all of your body, including the mind and the heart. So with your meditation practice, just find yourself your natural rhythm of inhales and exhales, and align and allow yourself to be aligned with the center of your space. I usually say collect all of yourself. Sometimes, well, most of us are living in the past, most of us are living in the future, looking at what happened or what's about to happen. And in this practice in meditation, it allows you to be really in your present moment. So give yourself permission to be here in the now, in your present moment. Be aware that you're riding with the breath. So notice how the breath goes as well as you take your inhales and your exhales. Be one with it as you find yourself maybe tapping into all of your senses first. So notice every single part of your skin, anything that it touches, any smell, any taste. Noticing every single sound surrounding you right now beyond my voice. All the things that you're hearing from your space. And noticing every single color in your eyes. If your eyes are open, notice them one by one, what's in front of you. Or if your eyes are closed, notice every single color flowing through your mind's eye. And as we flow into your practice today, create an intention, something that can make our practice, our journey today be mindful as ever. Something that is maybe in line with healthy aging. something that you want to accomplish after this practice, after this class. One big inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Let's do that one more round. Big breath in and big breath out. One final round. Big inhale and slowly hold at the top. Take a little bit more of a sip on an inhale. And then exhale out the mouth, let it go. Very nice. Once you're ready to begin, gently bring awareness to the eyelids, soften them, flutter them freely, and then slowly come back to your present moment. So welcome to class. So we're gonna start with a lot of poses for today. So let's find ourselves standing. So we're gonna find our Tadasana for today's practice. In your Tadasana, in your standing pose. So most of our classes, or actually most of your salutation starts with the standing pose. We're gonna try to make sure that we're gonna navigate ourselves in completely. So take both of your feet hip width distance apart. Option to touch the toes, or just take a small space between the heels and extend your hands to the sides, palms looking forward. And then slowly imagine you're squeezing somehow a yoga block in the middle of your inner thighs. Once you do that, or once you visualize that, you feel that your glutes are clenching. You feel that your quads are strong. You're feeling all of the four corners of each foot. You have an option to lift the toes or plant them down. You can feel everything on your legs are engaged and your core is super, super strong. So that is always what you want to do in your Tadasana. If you feel like you're tilting your pelvis or your hips to the outside, take your outer hips in. Again, squeeze that imaginary yoga block. Or if you have a yoga block, place it here in the middle of your thighs. You'll feel every single part of your legs super active, super strong. Extend your hands to the side, palms looking forward. So this is your Tadasana. Making sure that somehow you're aware that you're doing this in every single sensation that you do. So as we talk about healthy aging, healthy spine is always there. So make sure that in your Tadasana, or even when you're standing wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing in life, maybe you're at the office talking to your clients, or you're really just walking through the park, make sure that you're aware of how you're standing completely. Because when it comes to a habit that you're somehow leaning on one foot, or maybe extending the other, or maybe bending them both almost always all the time, this is somehow habit that we don't want, especially if we're talking about aging. You feel that one leg is always finding a hard time relaxing at the end of the night because all of your weight is on one leg. So this is one thing that we need to make sure that we're taking care of. Our straight spine. Hands onto the side. Clench the inner thighs. Just a few more rounds of your breath here. Relax the shoulders. Feel or imagine the crown of your head rooting towards your sky, soften the face. Taking 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Very nice. Release the leg, shake, shake, shake. Release the block at the middle of your thighs. So the next thing, or the next pose that we want, is your Vrksasana or your tree pose. So one important thing in healthy aging is, of course, your balance. So it's easy to go to a Tadasana or your mountain pose and a standing pose like this. It's another to gently lift one foot off and stand on one foot. So as you age, as we grow old, this is one thing that we rarely practice. It's as easy as stepping one foot to a stair, and sometimes we don't have a balance in that way, especially if we're not aware. So things like that is super easy, and it's super easy for some, especially if we're young. But as we grow old, this is one thing that we need to take care of, to notice how we are when we're balancing or we're standing on one foot. So let's try your Tadasana, your Vrksasana today, or chi pose. Take your hands on all of your hips. Now I want you to gaze forward. Look at one point in front of you, something that's not moving. So that is your drishti, your external one. And then slowly find yourself rocking forward and back and rocking side to side. I want you to reach the edge of each side so much that you somehow feel like tripping off. Yeah, so that is something that you want. So if you feel like you're tripping off, you know that you've reached the edge. So notice if you can go on each side, rocking clockwise and counterclockwise if you want. And that way you know that you're navigating on all four corners of each foot. And then once you feel that you're good, come back center, find your balance. Now we're gonna try to shift to one foot. I'm gonna start with my left. You can start with your right if you want, if that's your favorite foot. Shifting my weight to my left foot, and I'm gonna try to bend the knee close to the heart. Hips are still parallel to each other, meaning one hip is not higher, making sure that they're square. And then again, imagine firming the inner thighs together. That will keep your balance in. And notice if you can use all of your your big toes here, stepping on the balls of the foot as well. And then slowly relax. Step it down. Let's try the other side. Hands onto the hips, to the sides, or maybe an airplane. Shift your weight to the right foot or left if you did that first. Take it up. There you go. Firming the inner thighs, relaxing the shoulders. Come back center. Yes. Now with your pre-pose, you have an option with the flying foot. So I'm gonna shift my weight to my left foot this time. Again, foot either to the ankle. So knees pointing to the side, heart, hip, belly still looking forward. Or lift it higher if you still can. Or if you want some more, with the guidance of the hand, we're gonna plug it towards the inner thigh. Like this. Again, imagine that you're rooting so much on that standing foot that all of your legs are so engaged, glutes are engaged as well, looking forward. And the most important part, you need to breathe. So if you don't feel like you're breathing equal amounts of inhales and exhales, maybe you can stabilize first the body. You can bend the standing knee if you feel like you need more stability, and then extend them as you go. Hands onto the side, heart, hip, belly still looking forward, knees really swaying out to the side of that floating knee. Hands in prayer to the heart if you can, or if you want some more, hands up and overhead. Palms don't need to touch, they can just be side to side looking at each other, or palms in prayer. We're just gonna stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Releasing the foot, shaking the legs as you go. There you go. So you have an option to find support here through a wall. You can place one hand on the wall if you feel like you need it. Let's go try the opposite side. So see which one feels a little bit more balanced than the other. Shifting your weight to the right foot. If you did this, try the left. Again, foot towards the ankle, to the knee, or maybe to the inner thigh. Knee opening to the side, heart, hip, belly still looking forward. Again, find one focal point in front of you. Something that can allow you to be more stable. Core engaged, use your core, use your glutes, use your quads here, pressing the foot to the ground. Again, hands in prayer to the heart, or hands up and overhead. In a prayer still, or just side to side. And then just again, notice how you're breathing. Inhales through the nose, exhales through the nose or through the mouth. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. As graceful as you enter, graceful as you exit too. Shake, shake, shake. Very nice. So that's one of the things our 2 poses already. So balance and of course grace. Let's go to the second one. So since we have already done your balancing and your standing, knowing that you can do that every single time, super easy, especially even if you're outside of the mat and you're just standing and you think that you need to practice more on your balance, that is one way to go, your tree pose. Next one we'll have to do going down into the mat. We're gonna find your locust pose. This one targets a little bit more on the spine. All right, so find yourself on a prone position, heart hip belly all the way down to the ground. So just like this. Maybe your sphinx pose even. Yeah. So making sure nothing is painful. If you feel like you're dumping so much on the lower back here, you can take your feet a little bit wider than the hips. Now with your legs first, make sure that all of your toes are down, including the pinky toe. If you feel like it's coming up. Press all of your pinky toes down as well. Yes? There you go. And then once you feel that you're good, press the tops of your feet so much that you lift your knees up. And that way you feel that your quads are so engaged, your hamstrings are there too, your glutes are strong, you're pressing so much on the hips as well that even when you lift your hands away from the floor, you're not dumping on the low back. So give that one a try. Yeah? So again, the goal here is to make sure that you're using all of your legs when you do a back bend like this, since we're targeting your spine. So pressing the tops of your feet so much, pinky toes are still there. Lift the knees, clench the quads, strong on the hamstrings and the glutes. Now everything is strong there. Now we're gonna try your locust pose or your salabasana. So what's gonna happen here? You can find a yoga strap if you feel like you need it on this pose. So hands onto the side. Option is to lift your hands. This is already salabasana. Option also is to clasp your hands here, fingertips or all of your palms together. Maybe bending on the elbows or let it extend. As you take your inhale, roll the shoulders to the ears. And then slowly take it down and back as you lift your knuckles as if you're pressing towards the back of the mat here. Again, activating on the legs, pressing onto the hips, the pubic bone, lifting or using your core to lift your heart up here. A little cue here is usually you look forward. I like to take my chin a little bit lower as if by tucking it towards the chest so that I can also feel the straight spine at the back of the neck. Yeah, you have an option to lift your feet if that feels good. But for me, this is already good. And then once you feel good, relax. There you go. So that is how you activate all of your back, all of your posterior chain, your spine there. So we're going to do that one more time. Again, option to take your feet down, stay on the ground, lift your knees up, activate all of your legs. Or if you want, you can lift your feet, lift your knees. It's really your core, your pubic bone, your hips pressing down to the ground. We want to make sure that everything is activated so that all of your back is strong. Once you feel that you're ready, you can actually start from the ground. I'm just not doing that because I have my mic here with me. But feel free to drop your forehead down to the ground as you settle your hands to the back of the body. Again, if you feel like you can't, use your hands together here in this pose. You can find a strap and glue one hand towards the other side of the strap and then the other to the other side. Let's go and start. Hands again. Roll the shoulders down your back. Lift your heart knuckles away from the hips. And then slowly press on all of your feet towards the ground. Or again, an option to lift it up. Yeah, we're just going to stay here for 4. Soften the face. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Release the legs, release the hands. A little bit of a counter section. Let's go find ourselves on the tabletop. Stacking your shoulders onto your wrist, hips onto the knees. You can find spider fingers on the hands. And then find a cat. Tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Roll the shoulder blades to the sides as you peel the heart open to the sky. Maybe find your belly button or find your gaze in between the knees. And then slowly just relax. I bet that feels good. So gently take a seat first, take a breath. If that was too much, we're gonna find yourself for the next pose. So starting off with your spine, we're gonna find our core this side. So a lot of things happening. So again, balance with your Tadasana, balance with your tree pose, strength with the spine here in your Salabhasana or your locust pose this time. Again, we're gonna find core, strength in the core. This time, we're gonna do your boat pose or your Navasana. So, finding yourself on a seat here about the middle of your mat, planting both of your feet a little bit. It can be hip distance apart. It can be a little bit wider if you want. Yeah, and then open the thighs and the glutes out wide, and then take your hands on your inner thighs like this. Keeping a straight line, I want you to lean back and find your tailbone there. So you're finding somewhat like a tripod. So your sit bones and your tailbone. Make sure you're sitting at the middle. Yeah, so feel free to stay there finding your tripod. And then I want you to lift the heels a little bit. And then slowly lift one. But it doesn't have to be high. It can be just here. And then lift the other. It can be parallel also to the knees if you feel like you need that. Core engaged, gaze a little bit above the horizon. And then slowly, maybe release one hand to the side, followed by the other. This is your core. Stay for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Stepping in, coming back to a seat. So that is your Navasana. You feel everything is activated. If you don't activate the legs, it's going to be harder because it feels really, really heavy if you don't. So if you want to activate them, imagine firming the inner thighs together. Again, you can find your block, place them here in the middle of your legs. You can also find a pillow, plug it in, and make sure that the block or the pillow doesn't fall off. So that every single leg, every single part of your leg is activated. That's super easy to lift it up. Yeah? You also have an option to flex the feet and then make some spaces between each toe. I know that looks weird, but this is also one thing to activate all of your legs. You feel all of your shins. Everything is super good. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, let's do that one more time. So slowly, take your hands on your inner thighs once more. Lean back, find your tripod, lifting the legs or extending them good if you feel like you have it here. Extend hand to the side. Let's stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. That feels really, really good. So whenever you feel like you need a quick activation on your core, whenever you feel like, okay, I did my balance, I did my back, now I need to do my core, both pose. One of the things or one of the poses that I'm not a fan of, but you need to do it. We all need to do strengthening on our core, don't we? So the one thing about doing that is you need to make sure that you're smiling so it doesn't feel really heavy. So whenever you're ready, let's go and do something else. One more pose. So with healthy aging, of course, with yoga, as they say, why do all yoga teachers or why do almost all yoga practitioners look young? So again, practicing mobility, agility, and all of the poses that we do keeps us young. And of course, the meditation part of it allows our mind to feel young too. So one thing that I like about yoga poses, it stretches so much all of the muscles that we don't um, use, which is of course number one is the skin. So this is what I like doing when I feel like I've been looking at my phone for too long. So much that I have this crooked neck with me. As if my chin is so much towards my chest already. And then my back or the back of my neck is already rounding so much that even if I'm talking to a person, talking to a client, or talking to a student, I can feel that it's there and it's not going anywhere. So I want to counter stretch that. So this is what I want to do. I want to do my camel pose. You can do it with me. So your Ostrasana, standing on your knees. So hips in line with the knees. Option to tuck or untuck. Up to you. Yeah. So with tucking the toes, you have the support of stability here. Take your knees hip width distance apart and not together. And then slowly with your hands. Option to be on the hips. I like to keep it here at the back as if my palms are pressing my hips forward. My fingers are pointing towards my knees. Some people find it easy as if your fingers are pointing towards the head and you're pressing your palms like this. So this can be so much on the wrist, so you don't have to do that. I like to do it like this. Yeah, some people also like it when they take your hands on their ankles, but that I believe is a progression. So we're gonna try it with your hips first. So hands on your invisible back pocket, looking forward. First off is your upper body. I want you to open your heart first by rolling the shoulders to the ears, to the back, and then down. Imagine squeezing your elbows together. This one is already a heart opener. Yeah? So imagine there's an invisible string from your heart towards the sky that someone in the sky is tugging it up. So lift it up, squeeze your elbows together as if they want to touch each other at the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now with your hands, I want you to push your hands to the hips forward. Now this already is your camel pose. Nothing too much. If this is too much on the neck, chin to chest is good. If you want for more, gaze above the horizon or look up at your ceiling, your sky. Press even more here. Imagine the crown of your head is lifting towards the back of the mat. Heart is gazing up. And then slowly as you release, chin to chest, and then simply come back to your seat. There you go. So a little different take on the back then. Some flexible people tend to do that easy by just leaning back. And you can do that too, for sure. But in a camel pose like this, I want to teach you how to activate the right parts of the body so that we're not just leaning on natural flexibility. Everything is active, everything is founded on the things that you set up. You want to age good. For sure, when you age good, you don't have your flexibility that as good anymore. So you make sure you want to activate everything. Let's do that one more try, this time with a progression. So finding yourselves on the knees again. Tuck or untuck the toes. This time I like it untucked just so to give you an option if you want to do that. Hands on your hips, back pocket, roll the shoulders down and back, squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, press your hips forward with the hands, open the hip flexors, look up if you think that you need more, and then again, if you feel like you want, one hand to the ankle, followed by the other. Making sure the thumbs are on the outside so that you can open your heart for us. Good. This is your camel pose. Tuck the tailbone, clench the glutes, press your hips forward. Take 2. Last one. And then how do you release this? One hand to the hips, followed by the other. Chin to chest, and then slowly take a seat. Yes. So again, one good stretch. So all of your anterior chain, even lifting your chin just like this, allows it to release all of the stretches, or it's really one good stretch at the front of the neck. And you feel that your spine is already straight and you don't have that fold neck. Yeah? So one last pose for today. That one is your camel pose. Again, your Ustrasana. This one is your fish pose or your Matsyasana. So lying down on the back. We're gonna do that today. All of your back down to the ground, hands onto the side. Extend both of your feet towards the top of your mat. Point or flex the feet up to you, and then slowly. This might feel really weird, so if this is your first time to do that and you need support, you can find a blanket or a pillow, place it here on your back. Grounding onto the elbows, plant the hands maybe, lift, maybe chin to chest, lift the head. Grounding on your elbows, I want you to drop the head to the back and gaze up, and then root the crown of your head towards the mat. Release of that grip from your elbows and stay here. If you want more, lift the head, take it closer to the hips like this. This is your Matsyasana or your fish pose. Again, option to put a pillow here on your middle back. So to the side. So no weight on your hands. You can even put it on your hips or hands in prayer extended long. So again, a good stretch at the front of the neck. This is also a good counter stretch on all of the forward folds if you've done a lot for the flow. We're just gonna stay here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Ground onto the elbows, lift the head, chin to chest, and then slowly just relax. There you go. So this is one awesome way that I like to do a quick back bend or just stretch the front of my neck whenever I feel like I've done so much forward fold for the day, or the flow that I make or I practice has a lot of forward folds. This is also one counter stretch for your halasana or your plow pose. And this will feel really, really awesome.